Alright, thank you for joining us today. What we're going to do is show you how to make a high definition video that's at the highest rate we can currently get. And if you look, I've already made a video for this demonstration that's loaded into our Camtasia Studio 8. And you see it on the screen here. I have just saved it, and by default it wanted to put a 854 by 480 resolution. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it down here and bring it to recording dimensions, which I did at 920, or what we're looking at is we want to make it 1920 by 1080. Keep the aspect ratio. If you want a black background, that's fine. And we're just going to say OK. Now what we need to do is we want to produce this video out as an actual higher definition so that when it goes in. So what we need to do is we will go into File, Produce and Share, and we're going to make a preset. So make it new. We'll use the let's see, production presets. We don't want to use that. See, it only gave us the 720 and that. So let's close that. We'll go up here to custom production setting. Okay, click next, and then we're going to use MOV, QuickTime Movie. This makes a much larger video, but it's like any image. The larger it is, the better the quality it's going to display when you resize it, and especially when you blow it up. So we'll go to next, and then we're going to change the QuickTime options. We'll have to have QuickTime encoding already set up in this. If not, you'll have to go out to Camtasia Studio and download the codec for it. Okay, so now we're going to video settings. What we want to do is we want to make sure that the frames are at 30 frames per second. We want to make sure that the keyframes are set to automatic. Frame recording is fine. By default it goes to high. We want to move it over to from high to best. Leave this encoding checked to best quality, and then we want the data rate to be set to automatic. And this at the top, compression type, you do want the H.264. Now see here it changed everything, so we'll go through it one more time. We changed the frame rate to 30. We'll change this to automatic. Change the high to best. Then leave this at automatic and click OK. Next, what we want to do is make sure that this says 1920 by 1080 HD letterbox. It doesn't matter if you click the preserve aspect ratio for what we're doing right now. Now in the sound settings, we do want to change this your MPEG-4 low complexity AAC. We'll leave it at that. But this here we want to make sure by default it brings it in at 44100. We're going to set it for 4800 16-bit stereo. That way it will bring everything in. We'll leave this prepare for internet streaming, fast start, and then click OK. Now we should see that we have everything set here in your details. Okay. There is a little bit of a thing we found when setting these up, that it doesn't always show this to be the size you set it to. What we've found is you may have to go back in and out and reset the settings a couple times for it to hold. I don't know why it's doing that. I would guess it's a little bug they have in their system. So next we're going to click next, and then we leave everything here. 1920, 1080, we can maintain the aspect ratio. Now here we've actually included a watermark here, which you could do. You could also include HTML. We happen to put this in just for our own little advertisement. Okay, and then next, and then production, we'll leave it as untitled. I'm just going to throw it on the desktop here when we're done. You can upload it to the FTP, but we'll leave it at this and say finish. Okay, we'll let that encode. So again, you want to make sure that you first have the codec installed in your Studio 8, Camtasia Studio 8, and that you can go to their website and just download, because otherwise it will stop when you click on the MOV. And then we're going to make sure that all these settings are where we want them on our system here. And this will give us a non-blurry production. I'm going to pause this and let it go so you don't have to listen to me ramble on. Okay, we just finished up here, and I'm going to put a little note up here to remind you guys that I should have told you in the beginning. Okay, that you can see this video is up. Set your recording to save as.avi in your Camtasia recorder tools under general options. Set the frame rate to 30 in tools, options, and inputs, and set the area to record to 1920 by 1080 if you have that. If not, you might have to select a smaller setting. And also remember, the higher these settings, the larger the files and the more processing power it will take to render your videos. It could take up to hours to render the video if your system has limited resources. So just a little reminder. Now you can see we finished up, everything's good here. So let's finish, and we can upload the video here, and let's see, let's go in and sign in here. Whoops, we don't want that. Let's see. Actually, we don't even need to sign into here to do this. We can close this. Since we've already preset everything, we can go into here and share to YouTube, and we're all set. Go there. Title, we'll just call it test 2. Description is high def video, and the tag we'll put HD as our tag. Okay, we'll set it as public for right now, and we'll go finish. And again, this is going to render and take a while, so I'm going to pause it here. Okay, we're back, and as you can see, our video is almost done rendering. And once it's done rendering, we'll go out to YouTube and see what it looks like. And that may take just a little bit. And another thing to help you understand, once you set these settings into the recording as well as the way it renders to the high definition, you should not have to go back and reset these. It should by default. So unless you do a change to these settings, it will be out there. Alright, so let's see if our video's out there yet. We'll do a refresh here. There it is, still processing. Now this may take a few minutes, so I'm going to pause it again here. Alright, welcome back, and as you can see, the video's done uploading. Shows us the time. I'm going to bring it up here to it, and if you notice, by default it always says to auto. You can see we've got our 1080 high def. We'll change it to that. I'm going to bring it into full screen. It's pretty grainy, and you can see before we had, and I'm demonstrating here where we only were able to get 720. Can't quite see that the image is grainy. So now what we need to do is we need to resolve this issue of why it's so grainy looking. So let's continue on and play, and you'll see that even though I have this full screen and the highest definition, it is just not of the best quality, because we want you to be able to see the actual content. The screen that I have is pretty high res. In fact, what I'll do is reduce it down here and here, and we'll show you what my screen resolution is at for this monitor. And as you can see, it's 1680 by 1050. Alright, so that is our demo video. Thank you. Alright, that concludes the tutorial here on the Studio 8. I hope that helps everyone, and it definitely resolved our issue where we now can get a high definition video out there to show you and all of our followers on trafficbuildersguide.com how to do our website, and also to have high quality videos to show our tutorials on. Thank you and have a great day.